that you are growing every day, but you may not grow the same amount each day. For example, day one, I may grow only a centimeter, but the next day I may grow an inch. It depends on maybe I have fertilizer that's helping me or something else that changes, but every step I am still growing. And it allows us to be in a mindset that if I'm growing every day, I am producing. I am your host, Randy Adkins Jr., author, teacher, preacher, and lifelong learner. Are you ready to be a producer? That's the first question that we are going to ask as we move into this first episode of the Produce on Purpose podcast is, are you ready to be a producer? You were born to be a producer, not an actor, not just for performances, but you were born to be a producer. I'm going to start us off with scripture that's coming from John 15:5. Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. In this scripture, Christ is providing a picture of himself as being the vine, his father being the gardener, we being branches. We have to be connected to the vine in order to produce fruit. To be productive, we have to be connected. He's making the point, this verse 5, that we have to have for us a connection with Him, an understanding with Him of who we are in order to produce. Let's talk about this a little more. But before we do, I want us to laugh a little bit. And so we'll start off with a laugh. I once knew an actor who fell through the floor recently. I think it is a stage he's going through. I really think that actor's going through a stage at this time. Hopefully that was a good laugh for you. That's one of my infamous dad jokes, and you can take that one, share that with someone in your family so that they can laugh today. But we are going to be talking about why is it important for us to be producers, not just actors. I want you to think about it this way. Picture your life being a series of mini movies. Just like you watch on television, they have mini series, or Netflix now, just about everything is a series. But your life is full of these mini movies, and you get to participate in these movies whatever way that you can. When I think about these movies, I also think of them as they are explained in Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, that everything that we have, there is a season, a time for every purpose under the heaven. So each of these movies can represent a season in your life. But many times, what we find, I have found in my life, is that I end up being a better actor than a director or a producer in my life. That means that I have learned either through school or with being at home or going to work how to be an actor. An actor is the one that's always in the bright lights. The actor is stage front and center. The actor is the one that you see when it comes down to the movies that they put out and it's a blockbuster hit. It's the actor that is put out front. And the actor does what we call performing. You perform when you're an actor. You perform on screen, usually performing to be someone that you are not in real life. So a good actor and actress works really well and really hard on their skill sets to make sure that they are able to act and perform externally, to get people to be moved. Many times they're going to be moved by either an action scene or be moved by a scene that draws out emotion. So actors are really good at that. And what I found in life is that we are many times the actor in our own movies and many movies of our lives. The actor has a unique ability to be an actor in different situations or play a role to appease maybe those that they're looking for. It's all about the performance. And isn't that the same way it is in our lives? That we could sometimes be in a place in our lives, whether it's our role on our job or maybe our role at home as a husband or a role as a wife or a role that we play in maybe in church or a role that we are in an organization or wherever we could be a different person than we truly are in other situations. And I believe the key for every one of us to a life of joy, freedom, of great peace is for us to find a place where we can become and experience the real you, the real me. And in order to do that, I believe you need to be a producer. What does a producer do? A producer is one that in a mini movie of yours would have to put together everyone and hire everyone and put the resources behind whatever movie that is being made. The producer is the one that actually goes out and gets the actor and hires the actors and actresses. The producer is the one that is responsible for making sure that there is a director there and all of the staff and making sure that the people are there to put this production on. The producer is in creative control of everything that happens. Now, many times, some of the creative control for the filming of the movie is given to a director because many of us might say, well, why not be the director? There's nothing wrong with being an actor or being a director. I'm just saying, I believe the best place to be in your life is to be a producer. The director is a good manager of all of the resources that are given from the producers. And that director gets to have creative freedom to show and put on the film and manage the film. But that director always has to go back to the producer if that director needs more resources, whether it's cameras, whether it's equipment, whether it's an additional resources, they do end up having to go back to the producer. The goal of the producer is to produce something and to produce something that is of great value. And that's what we should do in our lives. We should be producing in our lives great value. When it comes to producing, it's different than performing. Performing is all about the external. It's all about making things look a particular way. But when we start talking about producing, that means that every day that we are moving forward, we are growing. And this is key because it is a different change of thinking about our lives. And this may help you along the way if you find yourself performing in front of others. Maybe you are going to work and you perform a different way than you are when you are at home. You're at home and you perform a different way when you are in different places. And what we want you to do is be the real you in all aspects of your life, being able to have the courage to speak up and do what you need to do. And as a producer, you can make progress every day by just growing. Performance is always measured by something, and sometimes we wake up a particular day and we're going to perform differently based on maybe the way you feel, maybe the way that you're thinking, or maybe you're clouded from the day before. Performance is always going to be up and down, but there is the potential as a producer that you are growing every day, but you may not grow the same amount each day. For example, day one, I may grow only a centimeter, but the next day I may grow an inch. It depends on maybe I have fertilizer that's helping me or something else that changes, but every step I am still growing. And it allows us to be in a mindset that if I'm growing every day, I am producing. And I want to put this into your mind and want you to think about it is that as a producer, no matter who you are, whether you are producing intentionally or you're producing not intentionally, you are producing something. And I like to give this example as an idea of whether or not you think you're a producer or not. If you are breathing at this moment, I want you to think about your breath right now. As you breathe in, you are breathing in air. Your body is then taking that air and it is using it and changing it. And so you breathe in oxygen, you exhale carbon dioxide. That's consistently producing no matter what, as long as you're living. If you're listening to this and you're living, you're doing that whether you're intentionally thinking about it or not. I want you to think about the actor being the one that is producing, but they're producing on someone else's thoughts and creativity and direction. A producer, they get to create what they are producing and they get to intentionally create it, which kind of gives the background and the understanding of what Produce on Purpose is all about. Not only is Produce on Purpose about us producing on the purpose that God has created us for, but it's upon it in a sense because it also is us producing on purpose or intentionally with an aim to be a producer. Isn't that awesome? When we do that, we are becoming better at the lives that we have, that we can move into a place where we can start to be more creative. And my goal is that we all start to move in a place where we are producers as God intends us to be. He intends for everyone to produce something in this world. Whatever your production is, it should be on your creativity and based on your gifts that can glorify God. As you do that, you can then begin to receive the benefits of being a producer. So why be a producer? What are some of the benefits of being a producer? Producers have that creative freedom. Their original ideas become reality. They're the ones that are able to manifest and transform and make change in this world. You can do that and be that. You have seen glimpses of that in your life from different parts of your life. You were born to be more than just an actor or an actress or even a director. You were born to produce. You were born to have the capability to separate yourself from the rest of everyone else. You don't have to conform. You don't have to be the same as everyone else, but you can still produce. And guess what producers do? They don't work only alone. They work with others. So you have the strength and the ability to bring others to whatever you're producing to help create what you're doing. You're able to bring the resources in to make your mini movie the best, the seasons of your life the best. When you are able to really come into being a producer, the energy that you have, the might and the strength that you have, the gifting that you are able to use to produce quality into this world with your creativity, and you are able to do it on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. And I am excited about what you are going to be able to do as a producer. So, as a producer, you're not dependent on anyone else, but you work with everyone. And when you begin to have a synergy, you begin to have a fulfillment that happens in your life when you are producing, you are able to discover your life's purpose and you begin to create products and services that realize the purpose you are here for. And we're going to discuss way more about this and how you, as a producer, can continue to live life being the real you, the one that is creative, the one that has the ability to create businesses, the one that has the ability to write books, the one that has the ability to start and push others to help them, to serve them, and we will talk about that in greater details as we move into additional episodes. So, as a producer, you discover who you are. And as you discover who you are, you begin to remove the masks that actors wear when they become another role or another persona. You can begin to remove that out of your life. And you can then begin to produce what you're supposed to that will help transform and change this world. Are you ready to get started and be a producer? That's going to end our first episode. I want to encourage you to take it in this week. And I want you to think about in your life where you want to be a producer. Get a piece of paper. I want you to write it down in your different areas of your life where you want to be a producer. Put it down. And in the next episodes, as we go through, I want you to start to reflect and start to become who you were born to be. And it's exciting because you're going to have a life that's full of more joy, more peace, more fulfillment. And when I say fruitfulness, you're going to affect, impact, inspire, and influence this world in a greater way. I'm looking forward to us having a great time. This has been exciting. Our first episode that you are a producer. Are you ready to be a producer? I'm ready. I'm ready to produce more great creative content for this world and to really affect those that are around me, in my family, and all around. It's time for us to experience life being the real you and me. All right, I will see you in our next episode. Just to give you a preview, our next episode is talking about that we must connect to the source. We must connect to the source. I'll see you on the next episode. Have an awesome day. I ask that you do me a favor and that you would subscribe. Of course, you can find me at www.randyatkinsjr.com. I'm your host, Randy Atkins Jr., your author, speaker, teacher, preacher, and lifelong learner. Please provide me some feedback. Contact me at www.randyatkinsjr.com, and I'll see you on the next episode.